Well, major red alert and breaking development to share with you right now regarding the state of Texas and the federal government. You see, Joe Biden has a trick up his sleeve, and now the state of Texas is about to face invasion. And when I say invasion, I'm not talking about the United States border. I'm talking about invasion from another state in support of the federal government. Meanwhile, we've got 13 state governors, 14 altogether, if you include Governor Abbott, who are standing on the side of Texas. I mean, things are getting really crazy. There's talks and wars and rumors of civil wars. I meant to say, but there's rumors flying all over the place, and there's actual things transpiring. But as a quick reminder, let's go to the governor of Texas, his official site here. And you can see America's governors are standing with Texas to secure the border. I don't even know why the hell this is a big issue for the Democrats, because it's part of our law, right? But it goes on to say that Governor Abbott today was joined by 13 of America's governors who stand in solidarity with Texas' right to defend itself against Joe Biden's border crisis for a press conference at Shelby Park in Eagle Pass. And here's a list of all the governors you can see there, kind of a quick list on that. But meanwhile, right, we've got this direction from Joe Biden where he said, hey, okay, state of Texas, since you want to do that, you want me to secure the border. Well, I can secure the border, says Joe Biden, but, you have to give me authority in a bipartisan bill. And this is what Joe Biden has done and informed Congress to do. The problem with that statement is Joe Biden already has the power to do it. He doesn't need a bill. So this is just a freaking game, a shell game, just a propaganda piece, because the intent by the Biden administration is not to do that. If it was, he could do it. He doesn't need the authority. And here's just the quick statement on it from NBC News. Biden promises to shut down the border if given the authority in a bipartisan bill. Meanwhile, the Senate has seized up the opportunity. The Democrat Senate has seized up the opportunity to, put this bill together. And this bill, by the way, is a load of crap. It's got way more money for Ukraine than it does at the border at all. In fact, it lets about 5,000 illegal immigrants in each and every single month, deporting less, by the way, than it is bringing in. This is a monstrous bill. And there's a kicker to this. It also removes some of the state's power, particularly Texas, wink and a nod, included in that. Before I get into it, just got to give a quick shout out to LisaHavenGold.com at NobleGoldInvestments.com. Look, if you do not have some kind of solid investment, you are already living on borrowed time. Today is the day. Now is the time to get right. I have partnered with Noble Gold Investments on purpose because I wholeheartedly believe in what they do and what they're offering. And the good news is, if you are looking for a more financial secure future, they can offer this to you. Give them a call today at the number on the screen. Let them know that you heard it on Lisa Haven, or go to LisaHavenGold.com, fill out this information and click Get It Now, and they're going to send you this free gold and silver investment guide. As an added bonus, they are giving away this 1/4 ounce gold coin here that you see on the screen with any approved plan. So make sure you let them know that you heard it on Lisa Haven so you can take advantage of that. So let's dive into this bill. And this is on ZeroHedge.com, and it's headlined, Scandalous Senate Deal Allows 1.5 million illegals per year. Slides up to $2.3 billion to non-government organizations who are working with them, and gives about $60 billion to Ukraine. In other words, this is a package for Ukraine. Now, here is the actual what's being allocated. I'm going to scroll down to that section because I think this is a breakdown of the bill, right? Breaking it down further, the $118.28 billion National Security Supplement package includes $60 billion to support in Ukraine. Well, God, by golly, it's about half the bill, all going to Ukraine. I thought this was about the United States border, but hey, it's written in the Senate. Let's go on. $14.1 billion in security assistance for Israel. Well, I guess it's more of a foreign aid package. $2.44 billion in support to operations in the U.S. Central Command to address combat expenditures related to the conflict in the Red Sea. $10 billion in humanitarian assistance to provide food, water, shelter, medical care, and other essential services to those in Gaza and the West Bank, Ukraine, and basically all over the world, everywhere but here in the U.S. And $4.83 billion to support key regional partners in the Indo-Pacific to deter aggression by the Chinese government. $2.33 billion to continue to support those Ukrainians who have been displaced by Putin's war, and then here is just the people who are negotiating. And then we have, here's some stuff finally, $20.23 billion to address existing operational needs and expanded capabilities at our nation's border. And then it goes $400 million to the nonprofit security grant program, basically your non-government organizations that can help immigrants coming across the border. Hey, we got $20 billion. This looks more like, funding for Ukraine and Israel than anything else. This has nothing to do with the border. Why? Very little. 20 billion, right? Why? Because the Biden administration can already do what he needs to do with the stroke of his pen. But here's the thing. In this bill, there's one last thing that is rather devious, right? How about the fact that what this bill actually does is it takes rights away from the states. Take a look at Newsweek. This article here, it says Texas stripped of powers in this mysterious border security bill. It goes on to state this, and I quote, conservatives have attacked a provision of the new border security bill that will only allow legal challenges to be made in Washington, D.C. The bill would strip the power of Texas and other states to challenge some of the provisions in their local federal courts. In other words, if you have an issue with the border, Texas or Arizona or whatever state you're in, then you have to take it to the most liberal court in the entire United States of America, the good old-fashioned Washington, D.C. Yay, where the jury polls are even liberal. This sounds so fair, doesn't it? But here's what it actually states in the bill. It says, the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia shall have sole and original jurisdiction to hear challenges, whether constitutional or otherwise, to the validity of this section or any written policy directive, written policy guideline, written procedure, or the implementation thereof. In other words, Texas and other states who actually want to protect their border will no longer have a right because everything will be ruled from a court in Washington, D.C. that's basically controlled by radical leftists at this time. Bang. Here's the good news is, House Speaker Johnson and other Democrats, and other Republicans are saying this bill is dead in the water, and it dang right better be dead in the water. Reuters, House Speaker Johnson says border deal dead on arrival in current form. Big fat amen to that, because it should be dead on arrival. And if it's not, we better vote these people out of office, whoever the hell put this thing through. But here's the kicker between all of it, right? And it's about to get crazy because now we have all of this happening, the bill being written, which is just a load of crap. And now, as 13 state governors are in support of Texas, we now have the governor from the state of Alaska, more Republican state, from the state of Alaska, about to send in troops to the border there in Texas in support, no, not of Governor Abbott, but in support of the federal government. This is huge. Look, here it is. Alaska Beacon. Alaska plans to send National Guard members to Mexico border in support of the federal government. Freaking federal government. Now, it goes on to say that the state of Alaska is planning to send members of its National Guard south to the Mexican border, responding to an order from the federal government for assistance securing the international boundary. Now, that's interesting because, and I'm going to come back, they're saying that they want assistance in securing, right? So it sounds almost as if the federal government is telling Alaska to go in to help the state of Texas secure the border. That's what it sounds like. Whether or not that's actually the case, I'm not sure, because the federal government down there at the border got in trouble, basically, or didn't get in trouble because, the ruling in court, but was cutting razor wire and basically refusing to do anything about what's going on at the border. But now they're suddenly going to call people in from Alaska to aid the federal government in, and I'm not assisting with security. Just a question. When you cut razor wire, is that assisting in securing our border or not securing our border? But hey, we're going to go on and just run with it, right? It goes on to say that according to the Alaska National Guard, 20 guardsmen and 2 helicopters could be deployed as soon as late September. Exact mobilization dates will be determined by the Secretary of Defense and the Department of the Army. The deployment could put Alaska soldiers in the middle, you think, of an increasingly tense dispute between Texas and the federal government, and would have those soldiers support a federal effort that Governor Mike Mulvaney and his administration have repeatedly criticized. It isn't yet clear whether the Alaska soldiers would be deployed to Texas or one of the other states that are part of the federal government's Southwest border mission. So it's not exactly clear where they're going to be sent exactly, right? To Texas or one of the other states, right? But it goes on. Part of the mission involves National Guardsmen called up from various states to support custom border protection officials between April 2018 and August 2020. As many as 2,579 Guard members from 34 states and U.S. territories were sent by DOD to the 4 border states, according to a Government Accountability Office report. And here's the interesting part. Mulvaney, by the way, this governor from Alaska, joined other Republicans earlier, right? In a letter supporting Texas policy, and Attorney General Treg Taylor signed a similar letter along with other Republican attorney generals on Wednesday. So it's interesting. So we have this same governor who said, I support Texas, now sending 20, maybe that's why he's only sending 20, I don't know, but 20 guardsmen to the state of Texas or potentially nearby other states, to help the federal government secure the border. What's the definition of securing the border, Joe Biden? I'm curious. And that's wherein the question lies. Are they going to go actually secure it? Great. Sounds like a great idea. Or is it? Here's the thing. There's been rumors also that the Biden administration could try to federalize the National Guard in states outside of Texas and use that against Texas, right? But either way, things are boiling up between the Biden administration, between Texas, and now we've got Alaska literally sending National Guard members to the Mexican border in support of the federal government, potentially going to Texas. So I'll kind of leave all of that with you guys because there's so much to think regarding that. And what a bad time to do it, right? If that is the case, if you're actually sending aid and help, I wonder if that is what is happening. And in what way are the federal government, right? Now, what way is the federal government keeping our border secure when they're cutting wires and all of that? Meanwhile, you've got the Supreme Court case or the court case and all of this involved in it. Anyhow, wanted to bring all of this to you. I love each and every single one of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.